This is actually kind of funny to me. This is actually kind of funny to me, but we're going to go ahead. Let me see if I can pull this up off of my Facebook because I know I put it here somewhere. So let me pull this up. Here it is. Here's the video. So check this out, y'all. There's a story. This is a black dude who's at looks like he's on a college campus somewhere. And he's speaking to Candace Owens. Now, if you guys know who Candace Owens is lately, it's because she's been associating with Kanye West. Kanye West has been, saying that he likes the way Candace Owens thinks. Now, Candace Owens is a right-wing talking head, so to speak. She's a part of a group called Turning Point USA, which goes around to college campuses seeking to get young college people to embrace conservatism and embrace the Republican Party. Lately, embracing Trumpism and getting black people to quote unquote get off of the Democratic plantation, right? Getting them to get off the Democratic plantation. And so there was this young black dude who gets up and he's making this proclamation that he's off the plantation, y'all. He is off the plantation. So let me pull this up so you guys can check this out. And am I still sharing? No, I'm not still sharing. But I still want to let me pull this up here real quick so you guys can watch this. Hold on just a second. Check this out, y'all. Let me expand this. Can I expand it? Yeah, let's enlarge this.
First off,
let me rewind it so you guys can hear this from the very beginning.
I've been researching Black Lives Matter, and I've been understanding the politics and how they're funded by white liberals. And recently, I've been feeling like they're white liberals in blackface because they're white liberals in blackface. When I say that, it's because the white liberals is all about feminism, LGBT. White liberals don't really care about black people.
That's
I
correct.
realize white liberals don't really care about me, bro.
That's correct.
I'm off the plantation, bro. I'm off the plantation, bro. I escaped the plantation, bro. I'm empowered. They don't want me to have power. They want to keep me dependent. But I'm realizing this. They put white liberal ideas, LGBT, women, non-binary, white feminism, all that Hillary Clinton stuff, put it in blackface. Because if we say it, it's going to be too crazy. So then Black Lives Matter, it started by 3 lesbian women. It started by 3 lesbian women. It's not really supporting black families. My question is, what do you think that has to say about the movement that they don't mention anything about black fathers on the website?
I'll tell you what it means.
Okay, so that's one part of this that I kind of want to address, right? So he starts this thing off, and he talks about he's been researching Black Lives Matter, right? And he's talking about white liberals are funding this. White liberals are, backing this. White liberals are putting money behind this and everything else, right? And he says that because white liberals are supporting this, that white liberals are backing this, that because this is started by 3 lesbian women, all of whom happen to be black, that somehow that they don't care about him, right? Now let's just talk about how ridiculous that notion is, right? Because Black Lives Matter started really as a galvanized movement around the death of black men, right? Black men and boys. Trayvon Martin was the first big name associated with Black Lives Matter and people asserting that Black Lives Matter in this country. You looked at what happened to Oscar Grant. You look at what happened to Alton Sterling and Philando Castile and Walter Scott and Oscar Grant and all of these names, Jordan Davis, all of these names of black men and boys who were shot and killed either by the police or by somebody acting as if they had authority over these black bodies, say for instance like a George Zimmerman, right? So you got these white liberals who are backing 3 lesbian black women who are advocating for the agency and advocating for justice to be had for black male bodies, and yet somehow they don't care about me, bro. They don't care about me, bro. I'm off the plantation, bro. I'm empowered. I'm empowered. How, nigga? How? What are you even doing right now? Right? So then he starts talking about, yo, like they start talking about LGBTQ issues, and they start talking about non-binary issues and feminism issues and things like that, as if black people aren't a part of those communities, as if black people aren't a part of the LGBTQ community, as if there isn't a such thing as black feminism in the country, in this world, like as if that's totally not a thing that exists, right? That it takes white people, and this is the one thing that I think a lot of these dumb motherfuckers miss, right? Is that, yo, on the issues, right, that affect black people, a lot of the most progressive people that I know tend to be the most engaged, tend to be the most educated on these issues concerning black people, right? And it's not even that they're waiting for white people to do anything for them. A lot of times they really just want white people to get the fuck out of the way and stop hampering shit. Whether that be the quote unquote allies that there may be, right? Like people who say that they are for, Black Lives Mattering, that they are for equal pay for women, that they are for police being held accountable in police brutality cases, right? Like, yo, they have to prove themselves to us, but at the same time, when we're out here advocating for us, they need to sometimes step the fuck out of the way. And most black liberals that I know aren't waiting for white people to do a motherfucking thing for them. They just want white people to just kind of do the right thing, right? You want white people to do the right thing, but you're not waiting on that. But this is what he's missing. And this is what a whole lot of these dumb motherfuckers are missing. This dude said, yo, they don't care about me, bro. They want this black, they put all this Hillary Clinton stuff, and they say, put it in blackface. Because they say it sounds crazy. Like, no, actually, yo, if white people were saying that they want the police to be held accountable for killing young black men, yo, I'm all for that. Like, hey, man, it's about time. Where the fuck y'all been at? We've been out here saying this all the time. What was y'all? You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all want to, like, help out these transgender black women that we just read about not even a half hour ago that are disproportionately being killed across this country because they are black and because they're transgender? Can y'all step up on that one too? We can't do this. I mean, we've been doing this pretty much by ourselves anyway, but yo, if y'all willing to give a hand, well, goddamn shit, who am I to say no? So it's not about waiting for white people to do anything. Because motherfuckers been doing this without their help for a very long time. We just want them to get the fuck out of the way when it comes to things being done and being done constructively for the community, right? But this dude thinks he's empowered by shitting on people who are actively advocating for people like him, who are actively advocating for his stupid ass, right? But this goes on a little bit more. So check this out, y'all.
Nothing about black fathers.
First off.
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. That's another thing too. He said he goes to their website and they don't say anything about black fathers, right? Let me tell y'all something. There's a whole lot of stupid motherfuckers who are walking around talking about how come Black Lives Matter don't address this and how come Black Lives Matter don't address that. Like, yo, Black Lives Matter had a focus, right? They were focusing on holding police accountable for unarmed shooting of black people while they were having interactions with the police, right? That was the focus of Black Lives Matter. Holding police accountable for killing unarmed black folks when they were having interactions with the police. We are killed disproportionately by the police while we're having interactions with them. Right? That was the focus. Talking about what Black Lives Matter wasn't talking about is stupid. And it's stupid in the sense that, like, yo, you wouldn't go to the American Cancer Society and say, yo, you don't care about my AIDS, bro. You don't care about my AIDS. Like, you wouldn't do that. Because you know that the American Cancer Society, their focus is on treating cancer and finding a cure for cancer. If you want to find a cure for AIDS, there's a group for that. You need to be talking to the group for treating AIDS or treating HIV. There's a group for that. I'm sure it is. You wouldn't go to the Cancer Society to say that they don't care about your AIDS because they do, but that's not their focus. So like you see a lot of stupid motherfuckers walking around like, well, they're not talking about black fathers. No, they're just talking about black fathers who are being killed by the police the same way they would advocate for you if you were killed unnecessarily. Just like not even a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we were talking about Spann Clark, who wasn't even a fan of Black Lives Matter. Guess who was advocating for justice on his behalf? When Spann Clark was killed by the police, shot by the police over 20 times, and they said he had a gun when he had a cell phone in his hand. It was Black Lives Matter who was ringing the bell on that. But it's weird to like kind of watch these motherfuckers do these stupid, like these mental gymnastics, man.
Another one off the plantation. They got a problem. And this is how it starts, right? So this is how it starts. So what he said in the beginning was really interesting is he said, originally, I liked Black Lives Matter. Me too. Why would I be opposed to that? Black Lives Matter, right? Of course they matter. So you have to understand about the left. They are incredibly good when it comes to linguistics. They use euphemisms, right? Planned Parenthood. Of course I want parenthood to be planned. Oh, by the way, we're actually killing 800 black babies every single day. Eek.
They're actually killing 800 black babies every single day. I wonder how many of those people, how many of those women that Candace Owens actually talked to about their situation, about how those women became pregnant, whether or not they were pregnant because of a rape, whether or not they went to Planned Parenthood because it was an unwanted pregnancy that was a result of an abusive relationship, whether or not they even just like, yo, I'm not in a financial position to take care of a child. I can't do it. Or whether or not you even spoke to the doctors who told her that this isn't a viable pregnancy, and if you carry this pregnancy to term, it could mean the end of your life. Have you spoken to these people, Candace Owens, as you denigrate Planned Parenthood? And then on top of that, to make matters worse, they talk about Planned Parenthood as if that's the only thing that Planned Parenthood does is abortions, as if they don't do health screenings, as if they don't do preventative health care for women, especially women of low income, women who can't necessarily afford to go to a doctor. They also treat men for sexually transmitted diseases, give men contraceptives and everything else. It's not just abortions happening at Planned Parenthood. Yet, in this, if you're talking to some gullible motherfuckers like these folks, another thing too that I really found interesting, when that other dude was speaking, I don't know if you guys are watching in the chat room, for those of you who may watch this later, all of the white people were kind of like chuckling. All of the white people around him kind of chuckling, kind of laughing. Yeah, there was some applause and whatnot. But as you could see the smiles on their faces, like, man, this dumb motherfucker, he don't even get it. He don't even get it. They laughing at him. They weren't like with him. They were laughing at him. And he was so bought into this anti-black thought that being associated with progressivism or being associated with liberals or being associated with Democrats or whatever, he's so bought into that he's too oblivious to notice all the white people sitting around him laughing right at his dumb ass, right in his face. If you're watching this later, man, just check this video out and you'll see, man. Like it's weird to kind of watch this happen, but we'll continue this video.
You know, so this is what they do. They manipulate you by using a term that no person in their right mind would be against, right? Who would be against Planned Parenthood? Who would be against Black Lives Mattering? But the truth is, when you do a deep dive and you start to look at the finances, you're exactly right. People that are in control, Black Lives Matter is a political arm of the Democratic Party. Call them what they are. And their idea is to keep black people, as you just mentioned, enslaved and dependent via their emotion and their anger, right? So what I would say to you first off is to encourage you to keep going and to keep doing a deep dive, because that's how it started for me, right? It was one thing that didn't make sense. It was this constant narrative being shoved down my throat. But when I deep dived on these organizations and looked at who was funding them, it never really lined up to the things that would make the black community better. You mentioned that that you realize that they don't promote straight black men, right? They never talk about the things that matter, black fathers in the home. That's because they don't want black fathers in the home.
Why would they not want black fathers in the home? Why would they not want that? Eric Garner was a black father and he was taken away by the police, killed by the police. Walter Scott was shot in the back by police, scared because of child support. But he was shot by the police. the police were the ones who took two black fathers. Those are two that I just named. Two black fathers away from their children. It wasn't Black Lives Matter who did that. It was the police who killed them. See, this is the dumb shit I'm talking about. You want to talk about Black Lives Matter and not talking about straight black men. Yo, they're talking about straight black men being taken out by the police for needless reasons. And guess what? Those men, those straight black men who are killed by police sometimes are fathers. And now that they're not here, guess who don't have their dad around? Those kids who had their dad killed by the fucking police. It's not rocket science, man. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? That's not their focus. It's not their focus. It's a straw man argument, and it works on the gullible. And the scary thing is, there's so many gullible motherfuckers out here. There's a lot. It's a lot, man. We're like, yo, people aren't really as informed as we really should be. We really aren't, man. Like, it's scary how easily false information permeates. Excuse me. It's scary how easily that stuff gets around. Where factual information has a hard time even being disseminated. Where folks are looking at factual information and they're like, yo, I don't know about that one. I posted about Extension earlier today, and one of my partners was like, man, I don't believe that, man. I don't believe he did all that. Like, nigga, this is documented. What are you talking about? Why is it so hard for you to believe the truth about some shit? But it's so easy for you to believe the falsehoods. So easy.
Make
Bingo.
no mistake. So congratulations to you. Keep digging. And can somebody at Turning Point USA get his stuff so we can hire him? All right.
Welcome to the revolution.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happened, man. Black man's off the plantation, so to speak, I guess. Join one group for another. You know, it's interesting, man. You talk about white liberals not caring for you and Black Lives Matter not caring for you. You're also on the same side now as the KKK and neo-Nazis. But they don't care about you, bro. All right. Whatever. Oh, man. That shit's crazy, man.